Marcia Kilgore is a beauty industry trailblazer with 5 hugely successful companies under her belt. She revolutionised the spa world when she launched Bliss in the mid-90s. In fact, she appeared on the cover of Time magazine when she was just 29. Since then, her other ventures have included the affordable beauty range Soap & Glory, her own footwear line, and a sustainable beauty brand that has so far recycled over 10 tonnes of plastic. It's no surprise that Oprah Winfrey hailed Kilgore as one of the most inspiring women she's ever met. Now, all eyes are on Beauty Pie, the subscription business model that's been dubbed the Netflix of beauty.
But I want to know if you would really have wine.
I don't even eat lunch. This is the problem I mean, I'll eat it, but I don't go out and have working lunches generally.
Red or white?
White.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Marcia, for someone who doesn't know what Beauty Pie is, how would you explain it?
You have a membership, which helps us run the club. And then we go out to all of the best labs all over the world, and we source their best formulas, and we sell them to our members at the same cost that we pay for them.
So what you're saying is you could buy the best in the business lipstick, which is a Beauty Pie branded lipstick,
yes,
for £5 or under.
Yes, or the best in the business anti-aging serum, which might be £300 for maybe 11.
This is not your first successful company. You've had 5?
I've lost track.
What is your recipe for success, and how do you come up with these brilliant ideas?
I read a book called The Originals by a guy named Adam Grant, and he talked about how new ideas generally will come from people who are experts in their industry, but they're outsiders in their industry, because they think of things in completely different ways, and I would tend to agree with that. When I came up with FitFlop and the idea for a shoe that was biomechanically correct and advantageous for your body when you walked in it, it was more of a beauty product. So I wasn't a footwear person, I was a beauty product person, but then I thought of something related to footwear when I came up with the idea for Beauty Pie, which was about bringing women into the labs that make the world's greatest cosmetics and skincare and letting them shop direct. It was because that's my favorite part of that equation and my favorite part of being a person in the beauty industry, and I wanted to bring them with me and cut out all of the rest of the layers that don't necessarily add value anymore.
What advice do you have for someone who is starting a business?
To read everything you possibly can, whether you're really that interested in it or not. If you look at the most successful people in the world, they take time out every day to read and to learn. And without that, you stay where you are. I was at a conference where some thought leaders were speaking, and there was a woman who said that most people die in fires because they try and get out the same way they got in. And I thought that was a really profound statement, because it is telling you that you shouldn't always think the same way, right? And if you want to solve a problem, you shouldn't be trying to back out of the problem. You should be trying to find the other exit. And I think reading and becoming more worldly and understanding perspectives of others and other industries, how other people have solved problems, will help you. It's like a toolkit.
I'm so obsessed with that answer. The idea of the fire and having a different exit, that's genius.
I remember sitting there and she said that.
I need that as a quote on my wall.
No, it wasn't me.
Wells, take
she
it.
said it, and I was like, oh, that is so, but she said it just as an aside, like, did you know that most people, and I thought, oh, that is such a much bigger statement than what she said, because it's not about fires. It's about the shit that happens to you in life, or the corners that you get backed into, or whatever, right? That you have to look for a new way out. And I read an article with Frank Gehry on the weekend. I think it was in the New York Times. He's 80, right? And he said, I'll never stop working. When you work, it's when you get new ideas. If you retire, you're out of the game. But as long as you're in there and you're connecting dots, you can have so many new inspirational projects or thoughts or things that can just make your existence more interesting.
You're never retiring, are you?
I don't think so.
No.
Don't tell my husband.
Have you ever gone wrong in your career?
1,000,000 times, and I probably go wrong in my career every day. You know, the most important thing about doing things wrong is that you, in fact, stop, reflect, and learn from what you've done wrong so that hopefully you don't repeat it. And so I think going wrong is the best thing that can happen to you.
What advice would you give to someone who's looking for a promotion?
Wow, if you're looking for a promotion, I think and I know people will be shocked if I say this, but for a year prior to that promotion, you should be making sure that you make yourself indispensable, right? It is a job interview, isn't it? A promotion is a new job. So the person should be ready for that interview. And if they're not, they don't care enough to be promoted.
Oh, you're so good.
call me a tough ass.
Which is so good.
But it's true.
Are you organized?
I am organized.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I do make a list for myself at the end of the day of what the 3 most important things that I have to get done to move the dial on any business the next day are, and then I tackle those in order of priority every morning.
That's genius.
You have to. And then you make sure that the things that are really going to move the dial forward are done. And then you can reprioritize every day based on what is really going to help you get somewhere. Because you can spend 9 hours answering email, and it won't necessarily make a profound change in where you're trying to get.
How do you manage your work-life balance?
I think it's really important when you're trying to manage work-life, that balance, if there really is one, is to understand that any sacrifice that you're making is chosen. And then at the same time, trying to live every moment 100%. So when you're at work, you work. And when you're at home, you're at home. Say we turn off the Wi-Fi.
What do you mean turn off the Wi-Fi? What do you do?
You unplug the Wi-Fi and pretend that there's a technical issue. It doesn't always
Do your
work
sons
anymore,
know?
though. My 14-year-old figured it out. He's like, Mom, look at this. It must have come loose. And my husband and I were like, you're kidding. And so now we can't pull that one again. We've got to find a connection farther down the line. Sarah, there's a really interesting test that you can do called the Myers-Briggs typography test. Okay. And it tells you what you should do in the way that you think, what you do if you're under stress, or what you do to kind of relieve stress or get yourself back in balance. And it told me that when I'm stressed, I should do extreme exercise.
What do you do?
I do hot yoga, I climb up mountains, I'll go mountain biking, things that totally exhaust me. I'll wear like a weighted vest and walk up a hill just to get really, really tired so my brain stops. And then I'll, reach out to my friends and call them or FaceTime them or whatever, and it works.
What is next for Marcia Kilgore?
Oh. Well, What is next for me? Let's see, what's next?
Kind of a tough question, I guess.
It is a very tough question. You know what? I am climbing a mountain at the moment with Beauty Pie, and we are trying to reinvent a really stale, old, dusty industry that has been doing things the same way for so long. So we have to unwind a lot of that in order to take over the world, but we're working on
That's
it.
what Marcia Kilgore is next. She's taking on the world.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Should we go get another drink?
I think so.
Gonna have red or white wine next.
I'm going for, I don't want to mix, maybe tequila.
Tequila.